What is a true wireless controller? But are the wireless controllers I used to use fake? That's right. It is the 8 guards you see now. The handle of the Hall is actually called a real wireless handle. If you want to say true wireless, I still can't connect to Xiaomi wired. Can only be wireless. Could it be that this true wireless of the 8-bit Hall is the same? Don't dare to talk nonsense. In fact, there are a total of 4 handles in the Tiger Hunter series of Babatang. In addition to the Microsoft licensed version of the Tiger Hunter that I have already evaluated, there is also an unlicensed wired version, True Wireless NS Edition, and the True Wireless PC version that we are going to talk about today. Yes, I got these ones here. Today I mainly take a look at this True Wireless PC version, and take a look at it later. If you have time, you will release a horizontal video of these 4 models. The controller supports PC platform and Android, although NS is also available, but it can only be connected in host mode. It does not support functions such as Wake Up, Somatosensory, and Elite software. Therefore, the dynamic layout is still Xbox's layout plan. After all, it's still mainly on the PC side. If you look at it only from the appearance, this handle is the same as the Microsoft license issued by Hayatang. The wired version of the Tiger Hunter is exactly the same mold. Therefore, there is no difference in feel and appearance. The color scheme of each version is also exactly the same. In order to avoid making a repeater, I won't go into detail here. Students who want to know about the appearance and feel, you can watch this video of mine. But the difference is that this true wireless version, a wireless air socket is also included in the box. In addition, there is a receiver of the Hachiedo, store in a wireless base, for wireless connectivity. It can be said that the things that come with the 8 guards Hall this time are indeed very luxurious. Wireless charging base plus wireless receiver. If you look at the initial price of $249, it is really conscientious in terms of cost performance. But I believe there will be some students who don't care. I already have a receiver, and the charging base is not very meaningful. It is better not to send it and directly give it to consumers, right? But Babatang did this. It was precisely intentional, because this receiver and base are not ordinary receivers and bases. If the students observe carefully, you will find that in the base that comes with the Orion True Wireless handle, among them, the storage port of the storage receiver is exactly a USB port. Therefore, players only need to connect the charger base to the computer. The connection between the handle and the computer can be realized. There is no need to plug the receiver into the computer separately. In other words, this receiver is considered to be forever. Storing in this base will not affect normal use. The contactor is also easy to plug into the computer separately. But in any case, this design can still reduce player storage. In addition to this, just put the handle on the base and start charging. Then the handle itself will automatically disconnect from the computer. When the player picks up the controller again, it will also automatically connect to the computer. The most important thing is the base. There is also an indicator light below. The handle is charged. Time. The lights are on. A full charge will automatically turn off. I personally really like this design concept of Babat Hall. Whether it is charging or connecting, it completely says goodbye to limited constraints. Full score of 10. How many points do the students give for this design? Let's take a look at how this handle performs in terms of functionality. I don't really want to say too much about this part. The main problem is that compared with the previous Orion Spox wired version, this controller has less support for the Spox side and 2 fewer trigger vibrations. However, it has correspondingly added functions unique to third-party controllers such as continuous red. Wang Chong can also use Babatang's Elite software branch, joystick, adjustment of mapping, trigger, and other functions. As for the physical feeling, this PC version of the Tiger Hunter is really infinite. The handle is still not supported. Recently, many students are most concerned about the performance of the joystick. Through this handle, we can see that Hachiedo is now using the joystick. The tuning plan is completely different from before. It's more of an Xbox approach. In the outer circle gave a little part of the death. The main reason is that many games are designed with the logic of the Xbox controller. The character running in these games must enter the dead zone to trigger. Therefore, if it is too extreme, it will not be able to trigger the character's run. The outer circle dead zone doesn't have much impact on the game. Therefore, at this stage, in some games, this plan is more reasonable. As for the question of the death of the inner circle, how to say it? The cross is still not dead. But what I didn't expect was that Babatang is on the PC version of True Infinite this time. Finally, death was completely eliminated. After we closed the central .word area through the operation software, can achieve very smooth word tuning like Microsoft Handle. Not even without any jitter. Even FPS players can use it with confidence. This part was also something I never expected. As for why? We'll talk about it when we disassemble the machine later. Finally, let's disassemble the machine. I believe that students who often watch my videos must know that the 8 guards hall is inside. The structural design and workmanship have always been the top in China. It is really tight, and the solder joints without gaps are also very full. Even the flux was cleaned. It even made a fully wrapped battery compartment. But unfortunately, the battery capacity is only 480 mAh, and the battery life is more than 10 hours. However, if it is paired with a wireless base, this power problem is not very big. Unless someone can play the game for more than 10 hours at a time. Obviously not very realistic, but I personally feel that it is a pity. Hachieto may not be used on the PC version because of cost savings. Hall joysticks are still Alpine, but their NS version of this wireless goes on the Hall joystick. Of course, the price is also a certain distance from this. Hey, forget it, another day I will definitely do the horizontal of these 4 handles. Contrast. Intentionally. Nowadays, many students do not know the main differences between them. There are 2 PCBs inside the handle. The motherboard uses a 1.6mm handle to the highest standard at night. And this subplate is only 1mm, which is indeed very easy to deform. But the problem shouldn't be too big. First of all, Babatang used as many screws as possible to fix it. In addition, there is also a plastic baffle between the 2 PCBs for support. This structural design is completely sufficient for the force support of the rubbing handle. It is worth mentioning, the main control chip used by Babatang is the 54C series from Jerry. We can download detailed information about this chip on the official website of the festival. Through technical parameters, we can see that the sampling rate of this chip is 10 bits. Microsoft's master control is 16-bit. But in fact, the computing power is completely used on the joystick, which is basically between 12 and 14 bits. And Hachieto actually achieved the same joystick conditions with 10 bits of computing power. It is foreseeable that the engineers of the 8 guards hall should have lost a lot of hair. But in general, this Hachieto's Orion is really infinite PC version. In terms of internal workmanship and materials, it still inherits the fine tradition of the 8 guards. The workmanship is very solid. No wonder you dare to try it for free for 100 days. Can be said that this true wireless PC version, it is very clever to allow players to play the game conveniently. You don't have to worry about the connection and charging issues every time you play. The most important thing is, the problem of death, which has been criticized by players before, has also been resolved. Still very good. But in general, for players who only play on PC, this handle is really a very good choice.